Welcome to the desert, a place where time moves differently, where the earth breathes in ancient rhythms, and where your mind can finally find the stillness it's been searching for. Tonight, we're going to explore why these vast, seemingly empty landscapes have such a profound effect on the human brain, why they calm us in ways that few other environments can. Let's begin our journey as the sun sets over endless dunes, painting the sky in shades of amber and rose. The desert speaks to something deep within us, something that predates our modern anxieties and endless notifications. There's a reason why cultures throughout history have sought the desert for contemplation, meditation, and spiritual renewal. The brain, you see, responds to the desert in measurable, biological ways that promote relaxation and mental clarity. First, consider the vastness of the desert landscape. When your eyes take in an expansive, uncluttered view, something remarkable happens in your visual cortex. Unlike the dense, information-packed environments of cities or forests, the desert offers what neuroscientists call low visual complexity. Your brain doesn't need to process hundreds of competing visual stimuli. There are no billboards demanding attention, no crowds to navigate, no traffic to monitor. Just sand, sky, and the gentle undulation of dunes stretching to the horizon. This visual simplicity allows your brain's default mode network to activate more easily. This is the network responsible for rest, introspection, and the kind of gentle mind wandering that leads to creative insights and emotional processing. In the desert, your brain can finally shift from the constant alertness required by complex environments into a more restorative state. The colors of the desert also play a significant role in this calming effect. The warm earth tones, the ochres and siennas, the pale golds and deep terracottas, these colors have been shown to reduce cortisol levels in the human body. Cortisol, as you might know, is the primary stress hormone. When you're surrounded by the soft, warm palette of desert sands, your endocrine system receives subtle signals that danger is not imminent, that you can relax. Unlike the jarring greens and blues that can sometimes overstimulate, or the harsh grays of urban concrete, desert colors exist in a middle range of the spectrum that human eyes find inherently soothing. Our ancestors evolved looking at these earth tones. For millions of years, these colors meant stable ground, clear skies, and the absence of immediate threats. Your brain remembers this, even if you've never set foot in a desert before. Now, let's talk about the silence of the desert, or rather, the particular quality of desert quiet. True silence is actually quite rare in nature. Even in remote forests, there's the constant rustle of leaves, the calls of birds, the movement of small creatures. But the desert offers something different. It offers what acoustic scientists call pure silence or negative sound space. In the deep desert, especially in the vast sand seas like the empty quarter of Arabia or the dunes of the Sahara, sound behaves differently. The dry air carries sound waves without the moisture that usually dampens them, but there's often nothing to make sound in the first place. This creates an acoustic environment that your auditory cortex finds deeply restful. When your ears strain for sound and find only the faintest whisper of wind, your nervous system interprets this as safety. After all, predators make noise. Danger announces itself. The profound quiet of the desert tells your ancient brain that nothing is hunting you, nothing requires your vigilance. You can rest. This silence also allows you to hear your own heartbeat, your own breath. This internal focus activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the part of your autonomic system responsible for rest and digestion, for healing and recovery. In the desert's quiet, you become aware of your own body's rhythms in a way that modern life rarely permits. The temperature extremes of the desert, while seemingly harsh, also contribute to its calming effect on the human psyche, though perhaps not in the way you'd expect. The dramatic shift from day's heat to night's cool creates a rhythm that your circadian system recognizes and appreciates. Human beings evolved in environments with clear temperature variations between day and night, and the desert preserves this pattern in its purest form. As the desert cools in the evening, your body temperature naturally drops as well. This drop in core temperature is actually one of the signals your brain uses to initiate sleep. In the desert, this temperature transition is pronounced and reliable, helping to entrain your circadian rhythm in a way that heated and air-conditioned modern buildings disrupt. The dryness of desert air also affects your breathing in subtle but important ways. When you breathe dry air, you tend to breathe more slowly and deeply to humidify it properly before it reaches your lungs. This slower, deeper breathing automatically activates your vagus nerve, the primary nerve of the parasympathetic nervous system. Each slow breath in the desert becomes a signal to your body: slow down, relax, there's no emergency here. Let's consider the horizon line in the desert. In most environments, your view is interrupted by trees, buildings, hills. But in the desert, especially in great sand seas or flat playas, you can see the curve of the earth itself. The horizon stretches unbroken in a perfect circle around you. This 360-degree openness satisfies something primal in human psychology. Evolutionary psychologists suggest that early humans preferred environments where they could see potential threats approaching from a distance. The desert offers the ultimate version of this prospect. You can see for miles in every direction. This visibility allows your threat detection systems to stand down. Nothing can approach unseen, so constant vigilance becomes unnecessary. Your amygdala, the brain's alarm system, can quiet itself. The geological age of the desert landscape also speaks to us in ways that transcend conscious thought. Many deserts contain rock formations that are millions or even billions of years old. When you see striations in canyon walls, each layer representing epochs of time, when you touch stones that were ancient when the first humans walked the earth, something in you recognizes the scale of deep time. This perspective on geological time has been shown to reduce anxiety and rumination. Your problems, no matter how pressing they seem, are rendered tiny against the backdrop of ages. The desert puts your concerns in perspective without diminishing them. It simply provides a frame of reference that your modern, deadline-driven mind desperately needs. The repetitive patterns in the desert, the ripples and sand dunes created by wind, the fractal branching of dry riverbeds, the regular spacing of desert plants competing for scarce resources. These patterns trigger a response in your brain similar to meditation. Pattern recognition is one of the brain's primary functions, and when it encounters regular, predictable patterns in nature, it enters a state that neuroscientists describe as soft fascination. Soft fascination is different from the hard fascination that a thriller movie or video game creates. Soft fascination allows your directed attention systems to rest while your involuntary attention engages gently with the environment. This is deeply restorative. Studies show that time spent in environments that promote soft fascination can reverse the effects of attention fatigue, improving focus, creativity, and emotional regulation. The wind in the desert carries its own therapeutic qualities. Desert winds are typically clean and dry, free from the pollutants and allergens that accumulate in more humid environments. But more than that, the sound of wind moving across sand, that soft shushing sound, sits at a frequency range that humans find inherently calming. This sound is similar to white noise or pink noise, which many people use to sleep. But unlike electronic noise, the wind sound is organic and varies subtly in pitch and volume, which makes it even more effective at masking other sounds without becoming monotonous. Your brain can relax into the sound of the wind without your attention getting caught on any particular element of it. The stars in the desert sky deserve special mention in our exploration of why deserts calm the mind. In the dry, clear air of the desert, far from the light pollution of cities, the night sky reveals itself in its full majesty. On a dark night in the deep desert, you can see thousands of stars, the band of the Milky Way, planets, and even distant galaxies visible to the naked eye. Looking up at this cosmic display triggers what psychologists call the overview effect. Originally described by astronauts seeing Earth from space, this effect occurs whenever humans gain perspective on their place in the universe. It produces feelings of awe, interconnection, and peace. The problems that seem so large in your daily life become manageable when viewed against the backdrop of billions of stars, each one a sun with potentially its own worlds orbiting it. This sense of awe has measurable effects on the brain. It reduces activity in the default mode network's self-referential processing, essentially quieting the part of your brain that constantly narrates your experience and worries about your place in social hierarchies. Awe takes you out of yourself in the most beneficial way possible. The minerals in desert sand and rocks also interact with your body in interesting ways. Many desert regions have high concentrations of negative ions, particularly after the rare rains or in areas with certain mineral compositions. Negative ions have been associated with improved mood and reduced symptoms of depression and anxiety. While the mechanisms aren't fully understood, some researchers believe negative ions may increase oxygen flow to the brain and alter serotonin levels. Walking barefoot on desert sand, where safe to do so, provides additional benefits through a process sometimes called grounding or earthing. Direct contact with the Earth's surface allows electrons to flow between your body and the ground, which some studies suggest may reduce inflammation and improve sleep. Whether through measurable electrical effects or simply through the pleasant sensation of sand between your toes, This contact with the earth provides a form of sensory input that modern life rarely offers. The simplicity of life in the desert environment, even if you're just imagining it, promotes psychological rest. In the desert, survival comes down to basics: water, shade, navigation. There are no emails to answer, no social media feeds to scroll, no complex social dynamics to navigate. The clarity of the desert, its reduction of life to essentials, gives your mind permission to simplify as well. This simplification is therapeutic because the modern human brain is often overwhelmed by decision fatigue. Every day, you make thousands of small decisions, each one requiring mental energy. In the desert, many of these decisions fall away. You're not choosing between 30 types of cereal or navigating complex social situations. You're simply existing in space and time, and that simplicity is profoundly restful. The walking meditation that naturally occurs in the desert also contributes to its calming effect. The soft give of sand under your feet, the need to adjust your balance with each step, the rhythm of walking across dunes or hard-packed earth, all of these create a form of moving meditation. Your attention naturally focuses on the physical sensations of walking, which brings you into the present moment and out of the anxious future planning or regretful past dwelling that characterizes so much of modern thought. This mindful walking activates the hippocampus and the prefrontal cortex in ways that improve spatial memory and executive function. But more importantly for sleep and relaxation, it reduces activity in the brain's stress centers. The rhythmic, repetitive nature of walking meditation produces brain wave patterns similar to those seen in experienced meditators, particularly an increase in alpha waves associated with relaxed wakefulness. The occasional desert rains, though rare, create experiences of profound beauty that resonate in human memory and imagination. When rain does fall on the desert, it often comes in dramatic, visible curtains that you can see sweeping across the landscape. The smell of rain on dry earth, a scent called petrichor, is produced by oils that desert plants secrete to protect themselves during drought, combined with a compound called geosmin produced by soil bacteria. This smell is deeply connected to human well-being. Our ancestors relied on rain for survival, and the smell of petrichor became associated with life, growth, and relief from hardship. When you smell it, or even imagine smelling it, your brain releases dopamine and serotonin, neurotransmitters associated with pleasure and contentment. The memory of rain in the desert becomes an anchor for peace in your mind. The ephemeral nature of water in the desert, the way it appears and disappears, mirrors important psychological truths about impermanence and change. Watching water soak into sand, seeing a temporary stream vanish into the earth, these experiences teach acceptance of impermanence in a gentle, visual way. This acceptance is central to many forms of meditation and psychotherapy. What comes will go, what goes may return, and there's peace in accepting this cycle. The desert's plants, though sparse, demonstrate resilience that speaks to human observers on a deep level. A cactus that stores water for months, seeds that wait years for the right conditions to germinate, roots that extend 30 feet into the earth to find moisture. These are lessons in patience and perseverance that your unconscious mind absorbs and applies to your own challenges. Seeing life persist in the harshest conditions reminds you of your own resilience. If a flower can bloom in the desert, if a tree can survive on minimal water, then perhaps you too can endure your own dry seasons. This isn't just poetic thinking, it's the way human brains process metaphor and apply natural lessons to personal circumstances. The desert becomes a teacher without speaking a word. The quality of desert light, particularly during the golden hours of dawn and dusk, has specific effects on your hormonal systems. The warm, diffused light of desert sunrise stimulates cortisol production in a natural, healthy way that helps you wake feeling refreshed. This is different from the jarring effect of alarm clocks or bright artificial lights. Desert dawn is gradual, gentle, and perfectly timed to your circadian biology. Similarly, desert sunsets with their extended twilight help prepare your body for sleep. The gradual dimming and the shift toward warmer, redder wavelengths of light trigger melatonin production in your pineal gland. In the desert, away from blue spectrum light pollution, your body's sleep chemistry can function as evolution designed it to, preparing you for deep, restorative sleep. The shadows in the desert are particularly crisp and dramatic due to the clear air and bright sun. These strong contrasts create a visual environment that's both stimulating enough to be interesting and simple enough to be restful. Your visual system enjoys the clear distinctions between light and shadow, the way edges are sharp and defined rather than fuzzy and ambiguous. This clarity translates into mental clarity, a sense that things are distinct and comprehensible rather than murky and confusing. The thermal mass of desert rocks and sand creates a unique daily rhythm of temperature change that you can actually feel radiating from the earth. As the sun sets, rocks that have absorbed heat all day begin to release it slowly. If you place your hand on sun-warmed stone in the desert evening, you can feel this stored energy flowing out. This connection to the Earth's heat cycle is grounding, reminding you that you're part of the planet's energy systems, not separate from nature but embedded in it. This feeling of connection to natural systems combats the sense of isolation and disconnection that contributes to modern anxiety and depression. When you feel the desert's warmth, you're feeling solar energy stored and released. You're touching a process that's been occurring for billions of years. You're not alone. You're part of an ancient, ongoing dance between earth and sky, matter and energy. The absence of artificial sounds in the desert allows you to hear natural rhythms that are usually masked. The flutter of a hawk's wings, the scatter of sand moved by wind, your own footsteps, these small sounds become noticeable and significant. This heightened awareness of subtle sounds is a form of mindfulness practice. You become present to the moment, attending to sensory input rather than lost in thought. This acoustic clarity also affects your sense of space and distance. In the desert, sound travels differently than in humid, vegetation-filled environments. You can hear sounds from surprisingly far away, which expands your sense of the space around you. This expanded acoustic space gives your mind room to breathe, to extend outward rather than feeling compressed and confined. The air pressure in many deserts, particularly those at higher elevations, affects your brain chemistry in measurable ways. Lower air pressure means slightly less oxygen per breath, which triggers increased production of red blood cells over time and can lead to a mild euphoric state in the short term. This isn't dangerous hypoxia, but rather a gentle alteration in consciousness that many people find pleasant and calming. This slight oxygen change also encourages deeper breathing, which, as we discussed earlier, activates the parasympathetic nervous system. The desert, in its dryness and sometimes its elevation, conspires to slow your breathing, deepen your inhalations, and calm your nervous system through simple physical mechanisms. The tracks and traces left by desert creatures, the sinuous path of a sidewinder snake, the precise prints of a fox, the scratching signs of a beetle, these marks in the sand tell stories. Following these stories, even mentally, engages your narrative processing systems in a way that's very different from following plots in books or movies. These are real stories, currently unfolding, and they're simple enough to understand yet complex enough to be engaging. This engagement with natural narratives, with the real-world stories written in sand, satisfies your brain's hunger for story without the overstimulation that comes from modern media. You're using ancient tracking and pattern recognition skills that humans have employed for hundreds of thousands of years. Engaging these old skills feels right to your brain in a way that makes your nervous system settle and relax. The way the wind sculpts sand dunes into flowing, organic shapes demonstrates principles of physics and natural design that your brain finds deeply satisfying. Dunes form through a process called saltation, where grains of sand leap and bounce in predictable patterns. The resulting forms, the crescents of Barkhan dunes, the long ridges of linear dunes, the star patterns of complex dunes, are all expressions of wind, gravity, and particle physics. Understanding, even intuitively, that these beautiful shapes are the inevitable result of simple physical laws provides a sense that the universe operates according to comprehensible principles. This counters the chaos and confusion that contribute to anxiety. The desert shows you that even apparent chaos, the random scatter of sand grains, resolves into order and beauty given time and natural processes. The seasonal changes in the desert, though subtle, create a rhythm that connects you to the passage of time in a healthy way. Different flowers bloom after winter rains. Animals emerge or disappear according to season. The angle of the sun shifts throughout the year. These cycles are less obvious than in forests or meadows, but they're present, and noticing them connects you to the great wheel of the seasons, to the tilt of the earth and its orbit around the sun. This connection to cosmic cycles, to the predictable return of seasons and stars, provides what psychologists call temporal perspective. You're not just trapped in the moment or the day or the week. You're part of cycles that span months and years, that transcend your individual concerns and connect you to something larger and more enduring. The overnight cooling of the desert, the way temperature can drop 40 or 50 degrees Fahrenheit between afternoon and dawn, creates ideal sleeping conditions. Your body sleeps best when it's slightly cool, when you can burrow into blankets or sleeping bags and create a warm cocoon in a cool environment. The desert night provides this cooling naturally and reliably. This temperature drop also creates air movements, gentle nighttime breezes that flow from the cooling desert floor, and these breezes carry away the heat of the day along with any dust or particles that might irritate breathing. The night air becomes progressively cleaner and clearer as the hours pass, ideal for deep, uninterrupted sleep. The psychological effect of sleeping under stars, even if just imagined, reduces stress and anxiety. Studies of sleep quality in outdoor settings versus indoor settings show that people who sleep outdoors, when temperature and safety permit, experience deeper sleep cycles and report feeling more rested. Part of this may be the fresh air and darkness, but researchers also believe there's a psychological component, a sense of freedom and connection to the natural world that promotes relaxation. The minerals in desert sand, particularly silica, create a texture that's pleasant to touch and even to imagine touching. The fine, warm sand that flows through your fingers provides gentle, consistent sensory input that's engaging without being demanding. This kind of sensory experience can help quiet racing thoughts by giving your tactile system something neutral and pleasant to process. The way heat shimmers above desert surfaces during the day creates visual phenomena called mirages. These optical effects, where light bends through layers of air at different temperatures, create dreamlike images, the appearance of water where none exists, distortions of distant objects, the liquefaction of the horizon line. These mirages remind us that perception is not always reality, that what we see is interpreted through our senses and our expectations. This gentle reminder to question appearances, to accept uncertainty, is therapeutic. Much anxiety comes from insisting that we can and should know everything with certainty. The mirage says, sometimes things are unclear, ambiguous, and that's okay. You don't have to understand everything perfectly to be safe and to rest. The archaeological sites in many deserts, the ancient rock art, the ruins of past civilizations, the remnants of trading routes, these traces of human history provide perspective on the human story. You're not the first person to face challenges, to struggle, to wonder about your place in the world. People have been coming to the desert to find themselves for thousands of years, leaving marks that testify to their passage and their search for meaning. Seeing these ancient marks connects you to the human family across time. The handprint on a rock wall, the carved petroglyphs, the scattered stones of a former dwelling, these say, we were here, we lived, we struggled, we created beauty, and we endured. You're part of this ongoing story, and there's comfort in that continuity. The scarcity of water in the desert makes every encounter with water, even imagined, precious and meaningful. An oasis, a spring, a water hole, these become sacred places, centers of life in a thirsty land. This scarcity teaches appreciation in a direct, visceral way. What's abundant becomes invisible, but what's rare becomes treasured. This lesson in appreciation extends beyond water to everything in your life. The desert teaches you to value what you have, to recognize abundance where you might have seen only adequacy, to treasure the simple fact of existence in a universe that's mostly empty space and cold darkness. There's profound peace in this recognition of life's preciousness. The very fact that anything lives in the desert, that life persists in these seemingly hostile places, is a powerful metaphor for hope. Biologists call desert organisms extremophiles, lovers of extreme conditions. These creatures and plants haven't just adapted to difficult conditions, they've specialized in them, found niches where they thrive precisely because conditions are so challenging that competition is reduced. This biological truth speaks to human resilience and adaptability. You too can find ways to thrive in difficult conditions, to turn challenges into opportunities, to discover that what seems harsh or limiting might actually be the condition that allows you to become your truest self. The desert whispers this encouragement without words, through the simple fact of its living inhabitants. The way sound echoes in desert canyons creates natural amphitheaters and resonating spaces. Your voice, a song, the strike of a rock, these sounds bounce and multiply, filling the space with sound that seems to come from everywhere and nowhere. This acoustic phenomenon has been used by humans for thousands of years in religious and spiritual practices, because the echoing sound seems to take on a quality beyond the merely physical. These echoes remind you that your voice, your actions, your presence has effects that extend beyond your immediate perception. What you do resonates, echoes forward in time, affecting things you may never see. This isn't burden, it's significance. You matter. Your actions have weight and consequence. The echo in the canyon confirms this. The pre-dawn darkness in the desert, that time when night is deepest just before dawn, holds a special quality. The temperature is at its lowest, the stars at their brightest, the silence most profound. This is when sleep is deepest, when dreams are most vivid, when the boundary between consciousness and unconsciousness is most permeable. This liminal time, this threshold between night and day, is recognized by many traditions as sacred, as a time when the veils are thin, when you can access parts of yourself usually hidden by the noise and light and activity of day. The desert preserves this sacred time, protects it from intrusion, allows it to work its subtle magic on your psyche. As our journey through the desert of the mind comes toward its close, as you feel yourself drifting towards sleep, remember that the desert's lessons remain available to you always. You can return to this place in imagination whenever you need peace, whenever the world seems too loud, too bright, too demanding. The desert is patient. It will wait for you. It has waited for millions of years already. It can wait a little longer. The essential truth the desert teaches is this: less can be more, emptiness can be fullness, silence can be the most profound sound, and stillness can contain all motion. In reducing things to essentials, the desert reveals what's truly essential. In offering vast emptiness, it makes room for you to expand into your fullness. In its ancient, patient presence, it gives you permission to rest. So rest now, knowing that the desert watches over you, that its peace enfolds you, that its timeless rhythms rock you gently towards sleep. The dunes hold their shapes through the night, the stars will overhead in their ancient patterns, and the cool air settles over everything like a blessing. You're safe here, in this imagined desert, in this space between waking and sleeping, in this moment that extends forever. Let the desert's peace become your peace. Let its silence become your silence. Let its patience become your patience. Rest now, traveler, rest in the heart of the desert, where time moves slowly and space stretches endlessly and peace is as natural as sand and stone and starlight. The desert will be here when you wake, and so will you, rested and restored, ready to carry its calm into whatever comes next. But for now, for these hours, simply rest. Simply be. Simply let the desert hold you in its ancient, knowing arms. Sleep now. The desert keeps watch. All is well. All is well. All is well. Long silence with gentle ambient desert sounds. Continue with slow, gentle pacing and longer pauses between thoughts. The desert teaches us about boundaries in the most gentle way. Where the sand meets the sky, there's a line so clear, so undeniable, yet so soft and distant that it seems to shimmer with possibility. This visible boundary helps your mind understand its own boundaries, where you end and the world begins, what's within your control and what's beyond it. So many of us struggle with boundaries, taking on burdens that aren't ours, worrying about things we cannot change, letting the chaos of the world seep into our inner peace. But the desert shows us, here is earth, here is sky, each has its place, each has its realm, and the line between them is both absolute and beautiful. You can have boundaries without walls, separation without isolation. The texture of wind-carved rocks in the desert tells stories of patience that span millennia. A single grain of sand, lifted by the wind and hurled against stone, makes no visible mark. But millions of grains over thousands of years can carve arches, sculpt hoodoos, create windows through solid rock. This teaches your unconscious mind about the power of gentle persistence, of small actions repeated over time. You don't have to change everything at once. You don't have to solve all your problems in a day. Like the wind working on stone, you can make imperceptible progress that accumulates into transformation. This understanding releases you from the pressure of immediate results, allows you to rest in the knowledge that time itself is working with you, not against you. The way shadows lengthen in the desert evening creates a sense of time made visible. You can watch the shadow of a rock or cactus stretch across the sand, marking the passage of minutes and hours with geometric precision. This visual representation of time's passage is oddly comforting because it makes time tangible, comprehensible, finite. When time feels like an abstract pressure, an endless demand, anxiety grows. But when you can see time as a shadow lengthening, as something that moves at its own pace regardless of your urgency, you can relax into its rhythm rather than fighting against it. The desert shadow says, time moves as it moves, neither faster nor slower for your worry, so why not rest? The ephemeral lakes that sometimes form in desert basins after rare rains create ecosystems that exist for only weeks or months. Fairy shrimp eggs that have waited years in dry mud suddenly hatch. Migrating birds appear as if by magic. Wildflowers explode into bloom. Then, as the water evaporates, everything returns to dormancy or moves on, leaving only the memory of abundance. This cycle speaks to the seasons of your own life. Sometimes you're in a fertile period, rich with opportunity and growth. Sometimes you're in dormancy, waiting, seemingly inactive. Both are necessary. Both are natural. The desert doesn't judge its dry periods as failures, nor does it cling desperately to its rare wet seasons. It accepts both with equal grace, and so can you. The way light filters through dust in the desert air creates visible beams, those columns of light called crepuscular rays that seem to reach from heaven to earth. Scientists explain them as the scattering of light by particles in the air, made visible by contrast with shadowed areas. But the brain responds to them as something transcendent, as visible proof of connection between earth and sky, matter and light. These rays of light piercing the desert air trigger responses in your brain associated with awe and spiritual experience. The same neural pathways that activate during meditation or prayer light up when humans see these natural displays of beauty. The desert, without intending to, becomes a cathedral, and these beams of light become its architecture. The crystalline structure of sand grains, when viewed microscopically, reveals incredible geometric beauty. Each grain is a tiny jewel, shaped by eons of erosion, polished by countless impacts with other grains. Quartz crystals, feldspar fragments, bits of shell and coral from ancient seas. Each grain has a history millions of years long. Knowing this, even intellectually, changes how you perceive the desert. What looks like simple beige sand is actually an infinite collection of individual stories, of journeys from mountain to sea to desert, of transformation from one form to another. You too are a collection of experiences and transformations, and like the sand, you're more complex and beautiful than a casual glance might suggest. The way heat rises from desert surfaces during the day creates layers of air at different temperatures. These layers act like lenses, bending light and creating optical effects that distort distance and size. Mountains may seem to float above the horizon. Objects may appear closer or farther than they actually are. The desert becomes a place where seeing is not quite believing. This unreliability of perception in the desert heat is actually a gift. It reminds you that your perceptions, your interpretations of events, your judgments about situations, these are all filtered through your senses and your expectations. What you perceive as threat may be mirage. What seems distant may be near. The desert teaches epistemic humility, the acceptance that you don't see everything clearly, and that's okay. The nocturnal animals of the desert, creatures that emerge only when the sun sets, demonstrate adaptive wisdom that speaks to human experience. fennec foxes with their enormous ears that radiate heat, kangaroo rats that never drink water but extract it from seeds, sidewinder snakes that move across hot sand without burning. Each has found a way to not just survive but thrive by working with the desert's rhythms rather than against them. You too can learn to work with your own nature rather than fighting it. If you're not a morning person, perhaps that's not a flaw to fix but a rhythm to honor. If you need quiet to recharge, that's not antisocial, it's adaptive. The desert creatures don't apologize for their nocturnal nature. They've specialized in it, made it their strength. What you might see as your limitations might actually be your unique adaptations. The way water, when it does exist in the desert, becomes a gathering place for all life demonstrates the power of essential resources. An oasis isn't just a place with water, it's a community hub, a safe haven, a source of life that draws every living thing in the surrounding desert. Birds, mammals, insects, plants, all cluster around these rare sources of moisture. This teaches you to recognize and value your own essential resources, your own oases. What gives you life? What replenishes you? Where do you go to restore yourself? Identifying these sources and protecting your access to them isn't selfish, it's survival. The desert shows you that knowing where your water is, literally and metaphorically, is the foundation of thriving in challenging conditions. The prehistoric lake beds that exist in many desert regions, now dry ply as stretching flat and white with salt deposits, tell stories of dramatic climate change over thousands of years. What was once deep enough for fish is now hard-packed earth or salt crust. Giant lakes have vanished, leaving only ghosts of their former shores and the patterns of ancient beach terraces on hillsides. This geological history provides perspective on change itself. Change isn't just possible, it's inevitable. Whole ecosystems transform. Lakes become deserts. Forests become grasslands. And through it all, life adapts, continues, finds new forms. Whatever change you're facing in your life, however dramatic it seems, the earth has seen greater changes and life has persisted. You will persist too. The morning dew that forms on desert plants during cool nights represents an elegant adaptation. Many desert plants have evolved to capture this moisture, with leaves shaped to channel droplets toward roots, or with specialized hairs that absorb water directly from humid air. They're not waiting passively for rain. They're actively harvesting every molecule of moisture from their environment. This demonstrates a truth about resilience. It's not just about enduring hardship, it's about finding ways to extract nourishment from whatever circumstances offer. Even in dry times, there's morning dew. Even in difficult periods, there are small sources of sustenance, tiny moments of joy or beauty or connection. The desert plant teaches you to capture these, to let nothing go to waste. The way sound travels at night in the desert, clearer and farther than during the day, has to do with temperature inversions and the properties of cool, dry air. You might hear a coyote's howl from miles away, or the crack of a stone displaced by a bighorn sheep on a distant cliff. The desert night carries sound like a gift, delivering it across vast distances with clarity that seems impossible. This phenomenon mirrors how insights and understanding often come in quiet moments, how solutions to problems appear when you stop actively struggling with them. In the noise of day, the constant activity of your default thinking, important signals get lost. But in the quiet, in the stillness of deep rest, these signals can travel far, arriving clear and undistorted. The desert night teaches you the value of silence for hearing what needs to be heard. The geological forces that create deserts, the rain shadows of mountain ranges, the continental positions that place land masses in subtropical high-pressure zones, the ocean currents that pull moisture away from coasts, these are vast, planetary-scale processes. You're not just visiting a landscape, you're standing at the intersection of continents and weather systems, at the nexus of forces that shape the entire planet. Understanding this, your problems, your anxieties, your daily concerns are revealed as small against the backdrop of these planetary processes, yet you're not diminished by this comparison. Instead, you're placed in context. You're part of this planet, subject to its forces, connected to its systems. There's a strange comfort in knowing you're not separate from the world but embedded in it, moved by forces much larger than yourself. The silence between heartbeats becomes noticeable in the deep quiet of the desert night. In the absence of external sound, your attention naturally turns inward, and you become aware of the rhythm of your own pulse, the expansion and contraction of your lungs, the subtle movements of your body even in stillness. This internal awareness is the foundation of many meditation practices. When you're aware of your heartbeat without anxiety, when you can listen to your body's rhythms with curiosity rather than fear, you're practicing a form of embodied mindfulness that has profound effects on stress and anxiety. The desert's silence invites this awareness, makes space for it, holds it gently like cupped hands hold water. The tracks of wind across sand dunes create patterns that mathematicians recognize as similar to ripples in water, to the interference patterns of waves, to the structures that emerge whenever energy moves through matter. The desert becomes a textbook of physics written in sand, a demonstration of universal principles made visible and beautiful. Seeing these patterns, recognizing that the same mathematical relationships that govern waves govern sand dunes and sound waves and light, creates a sense that the universe is comprehensible, that it operates according to consistent principles. This comprehensibility is deeply comforting. The universe isn't random chaos, it's patterned energy, following rules, creating beauty through mathematical necessity. You exist within these patterns, part of the universal order. The rare desert blooms that follow rain, the carpets of wildflowers that can cover valleys and hillsides for a few brief weeks, represent the release of potential that's been stored for years. Seeds that waited patiently in dry soil suddenly germinate all at once, racing to bloom, set seed, and complete their life cycle before the moisture disappears. The desert transforms overnight from brown to purple, yellow, orange, red. This explosion of color and life from apparent barrenness teaches you about your own potential, about the seeds of possibility that lie dormant within you, waiting for the right conditions. You're not empty or barren just because nothing seems to be happening. You're storing potential, and when the conditions are right, you too will bloom with a beauty and abundance that surprises everyone, perhaps even yourself. The way shadows in the desert are so sharp and black due to the clarity of the air creates a world of absolutes, of clear distinctions between light and dark, between illuminated and shadowed. This clarity, while harsh in its way, is also honest. There's no pretense, no ambiguity in the desert's shadows. Things are lit or they're not. Things are visible or they're hidden. This honest clarity can be restful for a mind tired of navigating ambiguous situations, of parsing social cues, of trying to read between lines. In the desert, what you see is what's there. The shadows don't deceive, they simply show you where light has been blocked. This straightforward honesty of the physical world can be a relief, a vacation from the complicated interpretations that human social life requires. The thermal properties of different desert surfaces create microclimates only inches apart. A lizard can bask on a dark rock, absorbing heat, then move to a light-colored sand patch only a foot away where the temperature is 20 degrees cooler. The desert offers choices, gradients, a spectrum of conditions rather than a single uniform environment. This variability within apparent uniformity is a useful model for understanding your own moods and states. You're not stuck in a single temperature, a single emotional state, a single way of being. Like the desert lizard, you can move from sun to shade, from activity to rest, from hot to cool, making micro-adjustments that regulate your overall well-being. You have more agency than you might think, more options, more ways to find the temperature that feels right. The ancient trade routes that crossed deserts, the Silk Road, the salt routes of the Sahara, the paths through the Arabian deserts, these represent human courage and determination. Traders risked their lives crossing these vast, waterless spaces, guided by stars and landmarks, carrying goods that would be precious at their destination. They transformed deserts from barriers into bridges. This history of human courage in the face of the desert's challenges reminds you of your own ancestors, whoever they were, wherever they came from, who faced their own deserts, their own difficult passages, their own seemingly impossible journeys. They succeeded. They crossed their deserts. That's why you're here. You carry their resilience in your genes, and you can call on it when you face your own crossings. The way the moon illuminates the desert at night creates a landscape of silver and shadow, a world drained of color but full of form and texture. Moonlight in the desert is bright enough to see by, to walk by, to read by. The familiar world becomes strange and magical, transformed by this cool, reflected light. This transformation demonstrates how changing perspective, changing the light by which you view things, can reveal aspects that bright sunlight obscures. Your problems viewed by moonlight, with the cool perspective of temporal distance, with the gentler illumination of compassion rather than harsh judgment, may appear different, more manageable, less overwhelming. The desert moon teaches you that the same landscape can be harsh or gentle depending on the light. The compression of time visible in desert geology, where you can see layers of rock representing millions of years stacked like pages in a book, provides a lesson in how vast processes work. Each layer was once the surface, was once the present moment, was once now. Time compressed these moments into stone, squeezed them together, turned them into something solid and enduring. Your own moments, your own experiences, are also being compressed, layered, turned into the geology of your memory and character. What seems overwhelming in the present will become just one layer among many, visible when you look back, but no longer the surface, no longer the now. Time works on your experiences just as it works on sediment, compressing, solidifying, turning chaos into structure. The way certain desert plants space themselves almost perfectly across the landscape, each one maintaining a precise distance from its neighbors, demonstrates competition for resources made visible. Each plant has a root system that extends as far as it can without overlapping with its neighbor's roots. The result is a pattern that looks almost intentionally designed, but emerges naturally from the simple rule: take what you need, respect boundaries. This natural spacing offers a model for human relationships and energy management. You don't have to do everything, be everywhere, please everyone. You can stake out your territory, extend your roots to their natural limits, and respect that others are doing the same. The desert plants don't apologize for their spacing. They don't feel guilty for taking their share of scarce water. They simply exist in sustainable balance, and that balance creates beauty and order. The play of light through dust devils, those small whirlwinds that dance across the desert floor, creates moving columns of golden, glowing air. These vortices are chaos made visible, air pressure differences creating rotation, but they're also beautiful, almost playful. The desert dust devil reminds you that chaos doesn't have to be threatening, that disorder can be beautiful, that turbulence can be temporary. When your mind feels chaotic, when your thoughts swirl like dust in a vortex, you can remember the dust devil. It's temporary. It's natural. It's even, in its way, beautiful. The chaos will pass, the dust will settle, the air will be clear again. You don't have to fight the chaos, just let it spin itself out, knowing it's as natural and temporary as a dust devil crossing the desert floor. The smell of desert sage and creosote bushes after rain, that sharp, clean, medicinal scent, has actual therapeutic properties. Compounds released by these plants have antibacterial and anti-inflammatory effects. But more than that, the scent itself, carried on memory and association, can trigger relaxation responses in your brain if you've had positive experiences with desert landscapes. Scent is the sense most directly connected to memory and emotion, bypassing the thinking parts of your brain and connecting directly to the limbic system. Even imagining the smell of desert plants after rain can trigger calming neurotransmitter release. Your brain doesn't fully distinguish between remembered and actual sensory experiences. Imagining the desert can provide real, measurable benefits. The way the earth breathes in the desert, with temperature changes creating air currents that flow up canyons during the day and down them at night, demonstrates the desert as a living system, a lung that inhales and exhales with the daily rhythm of heating and cooling. You're not in a dead, static place. You're in a place that breathes, that moves, that responds to the sun's energy with rhythmic circulation. Understanding that the earth breathes helps you understand that your own breathing connects you to planetary processes. When you breathe slowly and deeply, you're participating in the same exchange of gases, the same rhythm of intake and release that the desert demonstrates on a grand scale. Your breath and the earth's breath are part of the same system, the same vast respiration that defines life itself. The preservation of artifacts in dry desert air, the way ancient cloth, paper, wood, and organic materials can survive thousands of years in desert conditions, speaks to the desert as a keeper of memory. What would rot in humid environments remains intact in the desert. The past is preserved, not perfectly, but better than almost anywhere else on Earth. This preservation quality mirrors the function of rest and sleep for human memory. When you rest deeply, your brain consolidates memories, preserving what's important, clearing what's not. The desert's dryness preserves the past just as your sleeping brain preserves learning and experience, sorting through the day's inputs, keeping what matters, letting go of what doesn't. Rest is not wasting time, it's preservation, it's consolidation, it's the desert air that keeps your memories intact. The way the last light of sunset lingers on desert peaks while the valleys fall into shadow creates a daily demonstration of perspective and elevation. The higher you are, the longer you stay in the light. The view from elevation reveals patterns invisible from the valley floor. This isn't just metaphor, it's optical fact, and your brain registers it as significant. When you feel stuck in the shadows, in the valley of difficulty, you can remember that elevation changes perspective, that height extends the light. You don't have to wait for the sun to return to the valley. You can climb. You can seek elevation, literally or metaphorically, and find that the light hasn't disappeared. You just needed to gain altitude to see it. The desert teaches this lesson every single evening. The silence before dawn, that profound quiet when even the night creatures have gone to rest but the day creatures haven't yet awakened, represents a liminal space of pure potential. Nothing is happening yet, but anything could happen. The day hasn't formed yet, hasn't taken shape, hasn't made demands. You exist in a pocket of timeless peace. This pre-dawn moment is worth preserving in memory, worth returning to in imagination when you need to reset, to find that space of potential before things happen, before choices have to be made, before the day begins its momentum. You can return to this moment, this breath, this pause between night and day, whenever you need to remember that before anything begins, there's always this space of perfect, pregnant quiet. Sleep now, traveler, in this space between moments, in this desert of the mind where all is still and all is possible. Let the cool night air surround you. Let the vast silence hold you. Let the ancient patient stones keep watch. You're safe here, in this place where time moves slowly and space extends forever and peace is as natural as breathing. The desert has more to teach, but learning requires rest. Understanding requires space. Growth requires dormancy. So rest now, knowing that the desert's wisdom will be here when you wake, that its lessons are patient, that its peace is permanent and portable. You carry it with you now. Wherever you go, the desert goes with you, that space of clarity and calm and infinite possibility. Let your thoughts disperse like dust on the wind, leaving clarity, leaving emptiness, leaving space for sleep to fill with its own wisdom, its own healing, its own mysterious work. The stars turn overhead in their ancient patterns. The earth cools beneath you. The darkness deepens and softens and holds you like a hand holds sand, gently, allowing you to rest in its palm without gripping, without demanding, simply present, simply supporting, simply there. Rest now. The desert keeps watch. The night unfolds. The silence deepens. All is well. All is well. All is well. Extended silence with minimal ambient desert night sounds. Very gentle, occasional reminders. The cool night air. The patient stones. The turning stars. The breathing earth. Rest. All is well. Fade to pure silence. Whisper soft narration with very long pauses. In the deepest part of the night, the desert reveals its most subtle truths. The kind that can only be understood when the mind is quieted completely, when thoughts have scattered like seeds on the wind, leaving only awareness, only presence, only peace. The way sand absorbs and releases heat follows a mathematical curve that physicists call exponential decay. The desert surface cools rapidly in the first hours after sunset, then more slowly as the night progresses, approaching but never quite reaching the temperature of the air above it. This gradual approach to equilibrium, this asymptotic cooling, mirrors the way your body settles into deep sleep. You don't fall asleep all at once. You approach sleep gradually, cooling into it, settling into it, your brain waves slowing, your metabolism dropping, your consciousness dimming by degrees until you cross that threshold into true sleep. The desert's cooling curve is your cooling curve, the same mathematical poetry of gradual release, of letting go by degrees, of approaching rest. The subsurface moisture in the desert, water that exists feet or even yards below the surface, sustains deep-rooted plants through years of drought. Mesquite trees send roots down 30, 40, sometimes 60 feet, tapping into water sources that surface plants never reach. This hidden water, this secret sustenance, exists beneath the apparent dryness. You too have deep resources, reserves of strength and resilience that aren't visible on the surface, that don't show themselves in your daily functioning but are there nonetheless. Deep roots reaching down into sources of vitality that can sustain you through the driest seasons of your life. Trust these deep roots. They know how to find water even when you don't consciously know where to look. The way certain desert rocks, called ventifacts, are carved by wind-blown sand into smooth, flowing shapes demonstrates the artistic power of erosion. What looks like sculpture, like intentional art, is simply the result of air and sand and time, of millions of tiny impacts that remove everything that isn't essential, leaving only the core form, polished and beautiful. Your essential self is being revealed through similar erosion, through the experiences that wear away what isn't truly you, that polish away pretense and artificiality, leaving the true form beneath. This erosion doesn't destroy you, it reveals you. The desert wind is an artist, and so is time, and so is experience, carving you into your truest shape. The phenomenon of desert varnish, that dark coating on rocks that takes thousands of years to form, is created by colonies of bacteria that concentrate manganese and iron from the air and rain. What looks like paint is actually life, microscopic organisms working so slowly that their progress is invisible, but given millennia, they transform the appearance of entire cliff faces. This teaches you about the invisible work happening in your own rest, in your own stillness. While you sleep, while you rest, processes too small and slow to perceive are healing you, organizing you, transforming you. You don't see neurons strengthening their connections, proteins folding, memories consolidating, but these processes continue regardless, patient as bacteria creating desert varnish, just as transformative over time. The perfect circle of the horizon in a flat desert, that 360-degree line where Earth meets sky, represents one of the few places where you can stand at the center of a perfect circle. Everywhere you look, the distance is the same, the boundary is equidistant. You stand at the center of your own perception, literally and symbolically. This geometric truth, that you're always at the center of your own perceptual field, reflects a psychological truth. You are the center of your experience. This isn't selfishness, it's simple fact. Every sensation, every thought, every emotion arises in your consciousness, at your center. Understanding this helps you take responsibility for your experience while also recognizing its limits. You're the center of your circle, not anyone else's. The way moonlight creates double shadows in the desert when it's bright enough, one shadow from the moon and a fainter shadow from starlight, reveals layers of illumination usually invisible. Even when the moon is full, the stars still shine, still cast their tiny allotment of light, still contribute their ancient photons to the present moment. This layering of light sources mirrors the way multiple influences, multiple sources of guidance and wisdom, illuminate your path. No single source provides all the light. The moon is bright, but the stars still matter. Your primary relationships are important, but small kindnesses from strangers still count. Major insights are valuable, but tiny moments of clarity still illuminate. All light adds to light. The silence in salt flats, those vast plains of dried up ancient seas, carries a quality different from the silence of sand dunes. Salt is crystalline, rigid, reflective. Sound behaves differently here, sometimes carrying with strange clarity, sometimes seeming to disappear entirely. Walking on salt flats produces a crunch, a breaking of crystals that's both satisfying and slightly melancholic, like walking on the broken dreams of ancient oceans. This different quality of silence reminds you that not all quiet is the same, that stillness can have texture and character. The quiet of exhaustion differs from the quiet of peace. The silence of emptiness differs from the silence of fullness. Learning to distinguish these different silences, these different qualities of quiet, helps you understand your own inner states more precisely. The way distant mountains turn blue in desert air, through a phenomenon called atmospheric perspective, demonstrates how distance adds beauty through scattering of light. The farther away something is, the more air you're viewing it through, and that air scatters blue wavelengths, painting distant features in shades of azure and violet. This optical effect provides a metaphor for temporal distance as well. Painful events, viewed through the distance of time, soften and blur, take on different colors, become less harsh. The air of time scatters the sharp edges of difficult experiences, gentles them into something you can look at without flinching. What hurts terribly today will be distant blue mountains eventually, still visible, still part of the landscape, but softened, beautified by distance. The way a a single rain event can trigger the blooming of different species at different times afterward, some blooming immediately, some waiting weeks, some requiring specific temperature conditions in addition to moisture, demonstrates complex timing mechanisms evolved over millions of years. Each species has its own internal clock, its own calculation of when conditions are optimal. You too have internal timing mechanisms, instincts about when to act and when to wait, when to speak and when to be silent, when to push forward and when to rest. Trusting these internal rhythms, even when external pressure pushes you toward different timing, is wisdom. Not every seed sprouts immediately after rain. Some know to wait, and that waiting isn't failure, it's strategy. The electrical properties of desert air, particularly its low humidity and high ion concentration, affect the way static electricity builds and discharges. You might experience small shocks touching metal, see sparks in the darkness, feel your hair respond to the dry air. The desert is electrically alive, charged with potential that occasionally discharges in visible, tangible ways. This electrical quality reflects the way insights and realizations build in your mind during rest, accumulating charge until they discharge in moments of sudden clarity, those aha moments that seem to come from nowhere but are actually the result of sustained unconscious processing. The desert's electricity mirrors your mind's electricity, both building toward moments of visible discharge, of illuminating spark. The way some desert plants close their pores during the day to prevent water loss, only opening them at night when it's cooler, demonstrates adaptive circadian rhythms taken to extremes. These plants essentially hold their breath all day, only exhaling and inhaling carbon dioxide at night. It seems impossible, but it works, and it allows them to thrive where other plants would desiccate. This extreme adaptation reminds you that sometimes survival requires unconventional strategies, that you might need to close yourself off during harsh times, conserving your resources, waiting for cooler, safer conditions to open up again. This isn't weakness, it's adaptation. The plant that closes its pores during the day's heat isn't failing, it's succeeding through intelligent conservation. The way sound can carry for incredible distances across water in the desert, across a rare pool or spring, has to do with sound waves reflecting off the water's surface and creating acoustic channels. A whisper at one end of a desert pool can sometimes be heard clearly at the other end, carrying across the water like a secret shared between the landscape and whoever listens. This acoustic property of water suggests that your own depths, your own internal pools of emotion and memory, can carry messages from one part of yourself to another, that your unconscious and conscious mind can communicate across the still waters of deep rest, sharing insights that don't need shouting, that can travel as whispers and still arrive intact. The phenomenon of frost formation in the desert during winter nights, where temperatures plummet below freezing despite daytime warmth, creates temporary sculptures of ice that vanish with the morning sun. These ephemeral crystals, forming intricate patterns on rocks and plants, exist for only a few hours, yet they're no less real, no less beautiful for their brevity. This teaches acceptance of transience, appreciation for beauty that doesn't last, value in experiences that are temporary by nature. Your happiness doesn't have to be permanent to be real. Your peace doesn't have to be eternal to be worth cultivating. Like frost in the desert, moments moments of grace can be brief and still be complete, still be perfect, still be enough. The way different minerals in desert rocks reflect moonlight with different intensities creates a landscape of varying luminosity at night. Quartz catches and holds light, seeming to glow. Mica sparkles with starlight. Dark basalt absorbs light, creating pools of deeper darkness. The desert at night becomes a subtle mosaic of light and shadow, visible only to patient, adjusted eyes. This teaches you about the value of adjustment, of allowing your eyes to adapt to low light rather than demanding brightness. So much becomes visible in dimness once you stop straining for daylight brilliance, once you accept the gentler illumination of moon and stars. Your intuition, your subtle perceptions, these become clear in the low light of quiet consciousness, but only if you stop demanding the harsh brightness of analytical thought. The way lizards bask in the morning sun, remaining motionless for long minutes, soaking up warmth that will power their metabolism for hours, demonstrates the importance of receptive stillness. The lizard isn't being lazy, it's being strategic. It's gathering energy in the form it's available, converting sunlight into motion, warmth into life. You too need periods of receptive stillness, times when you simply absorb what the environment offers without immediately converting it into action. Reading without immediately applying, listening without immediately responding, experiencing without immediately analyzing. These are forms of basking, of gathering energy that will become available later when you need it. The way ancient rivers carved canyons through desert rock, channels that are now dry but still visible, cutting through layers of stone hundreds of feet deep, demonstrates the persistence of water even in its absence. The Grand Canyon exists in the desert, carved by a river, but the canyon persists long after the carving is complete, a permanent record of water's patient power. Your own experiences carve channels through your psyche, creating patterns that persist even after the experiences themselves have passed. Trauma carves deep canyons that remain sensitive to even small flows of similar experience. But joy does too, carving channels that make it easier for happiness to flow when conditions are right. You are a landscape carved by experience, and like the desert canyon, the carving is beautiful, even if the process was sometimes harsh. The way certain desert beetles collect water from fog by standing on dunes with their backs to the wind, allowing moisture to condense on their bodies and run down channels to their mouths, demonstrates creativity in solving problems. These beetles have turned their bodies into water collection systems, engineering solutions at the microscopic level. You too are more creative than you know, more capable of finding solutions to your challenges than you give yourself credit for. Your brain, especially during rest and sleep, works on problems in ways that conscious effort cannot, finding angles and approaches that daylight logic misses. Trust your mind's ability to collect water from fog, to find sustenance in apparent emptiness. The magnetic properties of certain iron-rich desert soils affect compass readings, creating areas where compasses spin uselessly or point in wrong directions. These magnetic anomalies confused ancient travelers, but they also remind modern observers that not all guidance comes from external instruments. Sometimes you have to navigate by stars, by sun, by intuition, by methods deeper than mechanical measurement. When your usual methods of navigation fail, when your compass spins, This isn't disaster, it's invitation. An invitation to develop other ways of finding your direction, to trust your internal sense of orientation, to prove to yourself that you can find your way even when the tools you rely on become unreliable. The desert tests you, yes, but it also teaches you self-trust. The way heat shimmer distorts the horizon during midday creates a false boundary between earth and sky, a wavering line that never stays in one place. This uncertainty about where ground ends and air begins reflects the sometimes unclear boundaries between states of consciousness, between waking and sleeping, between thought and dream. Right now, as you drift deeper into rest, those boundaries blur and waver like heat shimmer on the horizon. You're not quite awake, not quite asleep, not quite thinking, not quite dreaming. This liminal state, this threshold consciousness, is valuable. Here is where integration happens, where the day's experiences begin their journey into long-term memory, where problems find solutions, where healing takes place. The way a single thunderstorm can create flash floods in desert canyons miles away from where the rain fell, sending walls of water rushing through dry channels with no warning, demonstrates the connected nature of desert hydrology. Nothing is truly isolated. Water that falls on distant peaks affects valleys far below. Everything flows downhill, everything connects. Your own thoughts and emotions flow through channels carved by experience, connecting areas of your psyche in ways that aren't always obvious. A feeling that arises in one context may have its source in something entirely different, flowing through internal canyons from distant origins. Understanding this connectivity helps you trace feelings to their sources, helps you understand that the flood in one valley may come from rain on a different mountain entirely. The way dust suspended in desert air creates spectacular sunsets, scattering red and orange wavelengths while letting blues pass through, demonstrates beauty arising from imperfection. The spectacular colors you see at sunset exist because the air isn't perfectly clear, because dust and particles interrupt the light's journey, breaking it into components, revealing its spectrum. Your own imperfections, your struggles and challenges, these also scatter the light passing through your life, breaking it into components, revealing beauty that perfect clarity might miss. The most spectacular sunsets happen when the air is imperfect. Your most beautiful moments may be those where circumstances aren't ideal, where difficulty creates the scattering that produces unexpected beauty. Rest deeper now. Let these truths settle like dust after wind, like temperature after sunset, like stars appearing one by one as darkness deepens. The desert has shared its secrets, not all of them, but enough. Enough to remind you that you're part of ancient patterns, that your rest is natural, that your peace is your birthright, that sleep is not a small thing but a return to the source, a remembering of what you were once stripped of doing, when reduced to being. The desert waits in patient stillness. The stars turn. The earth cools. And you rest, held safely in this moment, in this breath, in this soft descent into dreams, into restoration, into the healing darkness where all things return to simplicity, to essence, to peace. Sleep now, deeply and completely. The desert keeps watch. All is well. All is well. All is well. Very long silence. Barely audible. almost inaudible whisper with very extended pauses between phrases. In the deepest part of the night, when even dreams have grown quiet, the desert reveals its final teachings, the ones that require no words, only presence, only breath, only being. The way sand remembers footprints, holding the shape of what passed, until wind erases them, grain by grain, teaches about the impermanence of impact, how everything you touch, you change, but gently, temporarily, and that's enough. You don't have to leave permanent marks to matter. The footprint that fades still happened. The path you walked was real even when the sand smooths over it. Your presence counts even when evidence disappears. The crystallization of salt at the edges of desert pools, forming delicate white lacework, demonstrates the beauty that emerges at boundaries where one thing becomes another, where water meets air, where dissolved becomes solid. You exist at many boundaries, between sleeping and waking, between past and future, between who you were and who you're becoming. These boundaries aren't barriers. They're places of creation, of crystallization, of beauty forming. The way certain desert flowers open only at night, releasing fragrance into darkness for moths that navigate by scent, demonstrates that beauty doesn't need an audience. These flowers bloom in darkness, release perfume that most will never smell, and that's their purpose. You too can bloom in private, can be beautiful without witnesses, can offer your gifts to the darkness, trusting that what needs to receive them will find them. Not everything requires recognition. The subsonic vibrations that travel through desert sand, frequencies too low for human ears, but felt in the body, created by wind moving over dunes, by the earth settling, by processes invisible, create a sensation some describe as the desert humming. You can feel this hum even now, not hearing it, but sensing it. The low frequency of existence itself, the vibration of being alive, of breathing, of blood moving, of neurons firing. You are an instrument being played by the universe, and your note is perfect. The way moonlight makes no sound as it falls on desert sand, traveling millions of miles from reflection, arriving silent as thought, as memory, as peace, demonstrates that the most powerful things often arrive without announcement. Your healing comes quietly. Your rest deepens in silence. Your transformation happens in the pauses between thoughts. The most important work makes no sound, requires no effort, unfolds like moonlight falling on sand. The spaces between grains of sand filled with air create a structure that's mostly emptiness, held in place by the few points where solid touches solid. The desert is mostly space, held together by occasional contact. You too are mostly space, atoms mostly empty, thoughts arising in emptiness. You are the space that awareness moves through. And in recognizing this spaciousness, you can rest in it as nothing needing to be filled. The way certain rocks ring like bells struck desert gongs, created by specific mineral composition, and hollows formed by erosion, demonstrates that emptiness creates resonance, that hollow spaces make the best music. Your own emptiness, the times you feel hollowed out, these create capacity for resonance, for new sound, for unexpected beauty. Being hollow isn't being broken. It's being an instrument shaped by experience into something that can sing. The phenomenon of desert pavement, where wind removes all small particles, leaving only stones fitting together like puzzle pieces, demonstrates that subtraction reveals order. When everything loose is carried away, what remains fits perfectly. Your rest does this work. Removes what's loose, carries away what doesn't fit, leaves what's essential fitted together in patterns you couldn't see under the clutter. Trust the wind of sleep to sort you, to arrange you into your true design. The way sound doesn't echo in certain desert spaces, absorbed completely by sand and air, creating what acousticians call dead silence, might seem empty, but it's actually fullness. The silence is so complete, it absorbs everything, leaves nothing reflected, nothing returned. This complete silence is what you're entering now. A space so full of quiet that nothing bounces back. Your thoughts absorbed. Your worries taken in, dissolved. The silence doesn't reject anything. It accepts everything and transforms it into peace. The magnetic pull of certain iron-rich mountains, subtle enough you'd never notice consciously, but measurable, detectable, real, creates invisible fields that birds sense, that animals follow, that perhaps humans feel without knowing. You're being pulled gently now by forces you can't name, toward rest, toward restoration, toward the place where consciousness releases its grip. Don't resist the pull. It knows where you need to go. The way shadows disappear at noon when the sun is directly overhead, when light comes from above rather than the side, demonstrates that some truths can only be seen from certain angles at certain times. Right now, in this moment, your truth is simple. You are tired. You need rest. The complex shadows of your life will return. But here, in this noon of consciousness, in this straight down light, everything is simple. Sleep. Just sleep. The petrified forests of some deserts, where trees turn to stone over millions of years, cell by cell, replaced by minerals, maintaining shape, becoming eternal, demonstrate that transformation doesn't mean loss. What you were becomes what you are, becomes what you'll be. Each version preserved somehow in memory, in body, in consequence. You carry every self you've been turned to stone inside you. The forest of your history remains just transformed. The way rain can fall from a cloud and evaporate before reaching the ground, called virga, visible as curtains hanging from clouds, teaches about intentions that don't complete, efforts that dissipate before landing. Not everything you try will reach the ground. Some efforts will hang incomplete, and that's the nature of living in difficult conditions. The rain that evaporates still fell. Your efforts still matter even when they don't arrive where you aimed. The spiral patterns in some sand after wind vortexes touch down, perfect logarithmic spirals, the same mathematics that describe galaxies, hurricanes, seashells, demonstrates that pattern repeats across all scales, from grain to universe. Your small struggles echo cosmic ones. Your tiny triumphs reflect universal principles. The spiral of your thoughts, slowing, settling, follows laws as old as stars. You are behaving exactly as the universe behaves, spiraling down into center, into quiet, into rest. The layers of different colored sand in some desert cliffs, red, white, ochre, gray, each representing different epochs, different seas, different climates, stacked like pages, teaches that time is vertical, not just horizontal. You contain layers, selves from different times, different versions, stacked inside you. And sometimes, in sleep, you move through these layers, visiting younger selves, remembering what they knew that you forgot. The cliff face of your memory stands intact. All layers present always. The phenomenon of sand singing or booming when it avalanches down certain dunes, a low-frequency roar created by friction between grains, demonstrates that even falling creates music. That descent has its own song. You are falling now, falling into sleep. And this falling is beautiful. The descent makes its own music. The sliding down from waking into dreams is not collapse. It's a kind of singing. The way frost flowers form on some desert soils, extruded ice crystals growing upward from frozen ground, delicate, impossible, existing only in specific, rare conditions, demonstrates that beauty can arise from harshness, from freezing, from difficulty. Your hard times have created their own frost flowers, delicate growths of wisdom, of strength that could only form under pressure. You are more beautiful because of, not despite, what you've endured. The ancient dried mud, with its cracks, forming perfect polygons, geometric precision, emerging from chaos as water leaves clay, teaches that breaking creates pattern, that fracture follows rules, that falling apart has its own mathematics. If you feel cracked, fractured, broken into pieces, know that you're forming patterns. The cracks aren't random. They follow natural laws. You're breaking, if that's what's happening, is creating something geometric, something that fits with universal design. The way some desert caves contain ice year-round, despite surface heat, ice preserved in darkness, in stillness, in the deep cool of Earth's embrace, demonstrates that somewhere beneath the heat, beneath the harshness, coolness persists. Somewhere beneath your worry, beneath your day, beneath your effort, cool rest remains. Always there, always accessible. You're descending to that place now, down beneath to where the ice never melts, where peace is permanent. The silence now isn't absence, it's presence. Presence so complete it needs no sound. The desert at its deepest, at its most itself, makes no claims, offers no explanations, simply is. And you too can simply be. No need to explain. No need to justify. No need to prove. Simply exist. Simply breathe. Simply rest in the vast, patient, ancient silence that holds everything, including you. The stars turn. The earth spins. The night deepens. And you are held in all of this, part of all of this, safe in the motion that appears as stillness moving through space at thousands of miles per hour, but feeling perfectly still. Rest in this paradox, moving and still, awake and asleep, here and nowhere, someone and no one, everything and nothing. The desert knows these paradoxes, holds them without confusion. Sleep now, completely. The watching is done, the learning complete. Only rest remains. Rest and rest and rest. Silence stretches indefinitely. Occasional whispers. Breathing. Safe. Held. Sleep.